Yesterday, the 26th January 2021, marked a turnaround history in the President Muhammadu Buhari's regime since ascension into power in 2015. On July 13, 2015, President Muhammadu Buhari appointed new service chiefs and a national security advisor after sacking chiefs after sacking their predecessors that worked with the former president Goodluck Jonathan. Now, if you take a look at the history, President Buhari has never, up until yesterday, appointed new service chiefs, and that is counting 6 years now. And I'm very sure that it's raised a lot of questions in on the minds of Nigerians as a whole. And our analysts will be so excited to talk about this. Well, this story and more other stories we'll be discussing on Newsreel Pensioners 106.7 FM at Barigo, Onireke Ibadan. My name is Favour. Oloruntola, welcome to the program. It's so nice of you to join me. And I'm not alone this morning. It's just smiling at me.
Hey, good morning, Favour.
Good morning.
There was something you said that our analyst will be excited to speak about this morning because he's always been talking about it even before now. This issue of the service chiefs. All right, with that, welcome you to News Relay Pensioners 106.7 FM. It is a newspaper review program where we consider topical and salient issues from the trending headlines of the day. My name is Israel Adejumobi. And of course, our analyst is also with us in the studio in the person of Mr. Olufemi Olukunle. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning. How are you, Istra?
All right, starting off
Favour,
with
good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
All right, starting off with the headlines this morning, I have the scary first from the presidency. It says Buhari appoints Agu as the Auditor General of the Federation.
Buhari inaugurates Presidential Steering Committee on alternate school program.
And now to the story on the service chiefs. President Buhari replaces service chiefs.
CUPP charges new service chiefs to bring Nigeria's security back to life.
And still talking about the service chief this morning, CNG tells new service chiefs to disband all armed groups and militias.
Mixed reactions as to the appointment of service chiefs.
CBN advises against total lockdown as COVID-19 infections soar.
And still on COVID-19, federal government directs grade level 12 employees, others to work from home.
Oyo Speaker promises proactive measures against insecurity in Ibarapa.
And now to Ondo State, Ondo gets new AIG brigade commander.
Oyo Judicial Panel of Inquiry and Police Brutalities begins sitting.
Herdsmen obey Akeredolu's eviction order, leaves forest reserve.
Kogi hunters arrest 10 kidnappers to rescue 19 victims.
Igboho's brothers speak on fire incident.
All right, for now, we'll go on a quick break. Or do you still have headlines
Yes,
there?
before we go on the short break, court acquits Senator Adeleke's co-defendant in alleged exam malpractice. We'll take the stories after this break.
Yes, thanks for staying with us. The program is still News Real on Pensioners 106.7 FM. Now going straight to the details of the story. Buhari appoints Agu as the Auditor General of the Federation. President Muhammadu Buhari has nominated Mr. Gugu Tumela Dolphus for appointment as the Auditor General of the Federation. President has forwarded the letter of nomination to the Senate President, Senator Ahmed Lawan, pursuant to Section 86 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. In a statement yesterday in Abuja, the senior special assistant to the President of National Assembly Matters, Senator Babajide Omowurare, said that Agugu has been acting as the Auditor General since the voluntary retirement of Mr. Anthony Impe Ayine from service upon attainment of the mandatory retirement age of 60 years on 25th October 2020. The Auditor General designate hails from Edo State and holds a master's degree in economics. He is a fellow of the Association of National Accountants of Nigeria, member of the Nigerian Institute of Management, and associate member of Chartered Institute of Taxation. The nomination letter was forwarded to the Senate President, Senator Ahmed Ibrahim Lawan, for confirmation by the Senate.
Still on the federal government, Buhari inaugurates Presidential Steering Committee on Alternate School Program. President Muhammadu Buhari has inaugurated an 18-member Presidential Steering Committee on Alternative School Program (ASP). At the inauguration, which took place at the Presidential Villa, President Buhari charged the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development to coordinate and lead the deployment of national plan which will address the issue of out-of-school children in the country. This is contained in a statement by Special Assistant to the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadia Farouk. According to the statement, the President said it was unacceptable to see children abandoned in formal school to engage in menial jobs and child labor in the market streets and workshops.
After months of calls from various quarters, President Muhammadu Buhari has accepted the immediate resignation of the service chiefs and their retirement from service. This is contained in a statement by the special advisor to the president on media and publicity, Femi Adesina, in Abuja. According to the statement, those involved are the Chief of Defense Staff, General Abayomi Olonishakin, Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Toko Bratai, Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Ibok Ekwe Ibaz, and Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar. President Buhari thanked the outgoing service chief for what he calls their overwhelming achievement in our efforts at bringing enduring peace to our dear country, wishing them well in their future endeavors. The new service chiefs are Major General Leo Irabo, Chief of Defense Staff Major General Atairo, Chief of Army Staff Rear Admiral A.Z. Gambo, Chief of Naval Staff and Air Vice Marshal A.I.O. Amao, Chief of Air Staff. The president congratulates the new service chiefs and urges them to be loyal and dedicated in the discharge of their responsibility. President Buhari replaces service chiefs.
CUPP charges new service chiefs to bring Nigeria's security back to life. Coalition of United Political Parties, CUPP, has challenged the newly appointed service chiefs to see their appointments as a call to revitalize the weakened security architecture to ensure that the country is secured for all. The CUPP, which said that this via a statement issued by its national secretary, I Chief Peter Ame, while reacting to the appointment of the new military Elsman in Abuja, said although the sack of service chiefs was long overdue but still a welcome development. I Chief Ahmed charged the new service chief to hit the ground running and make such sure that Nigeria is secured for the people to travel across states lines to do business and prosper the nations without fear of being kidnapped. According to him, the sack of the service chiefs is a great relief to the officers and men of the Nigerian army forces and the Nigerian police people as a whole.
CNG tells new service chiefs to disband all armed groups, militias. In a related development, Coalition of Northern Groups (CNG) has called on the newly appointed service chiefs to immediately disband all armed groups and militias across the country. It also urged the security heads to work in harmony with the civil society to ensure that no group has the capacity to challenge the state. The group, in a statement by its spokesman, Abdulaziz Sulaiman, also called on President Mahmoud Buhari to reassert himself by taking direct control of the fight to secure the nation and to finally reclaim the nation's forest, highways, and sea that have been lost to insurgents and other armed criminals. CNG tells news service chiefs to disband all armed groups and militias.
All right, mixed reactions over appointment of new service chiefs. The appointment of new service chiefs has elicited mixed reactions from Nigerians. It was reported that President Muhammadu Buhari on Tuesday announced the replacement of service chiefs. In a statement, Femi Adesina said Buhari has accepted the immediate resignation of the service chiefs and their retirement from service. PMB appoints new service chiefs and replaces them with new people. Mixed reactions in Nigeria. Nigerians, however, took to social media to express their thoughts over the new replacement. While many commend the president with the optimism the tenure of the new service chiefs would usher in the peace and stability, some others noted that their replacement was long overdue.
CBN advises against total lockdown as COVID-19 infections soar. The Central Bank of Nigeria has advised against complete lockdown of the economy as a way of curbing the second wave of the COVID-19 pandemic. The Apex Bank also retained a monetary policy rate at 11.5%, the cash reserve ratio at 27.5%, the liquidity ratio at 30%, and the asymmetric corridor of 170 basis points around the MPR. CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele disclosed these at a just concluded meeting of the bank's Monetary Policy Committee in Abuja. CBN advises against total lockdown as COVID-19 infections soar.
Ondo gets new AIJ brigade commander. In the meantime, Ondo State Governor Arakunrin Oluwarotimi Akeredolu has declared that people of the state cannot continue to live in fear arising from the cases of kidnapping, robbery, and other criminal activities recorded in the state. The governor stated this while receiving in his office the newly posted Assistant Inspection General of Police for Zone 17, headquartered in Akure, Isaac Akimoyede, and the new brigade commander of the 32 Artillery Owena Cantonment, Brigadier General Raymond Utasha. Governor Akeredolu urged the new AIG and brigade commander to collaborate with other security agencies in the state for optimum performance, noted that insecurity can be tackled in a different way when there are collaborative efforts. He appreciated the police for the measure of cooperation given to the state security network, otherwise known as the Motekun Corps, so far. The governor assured the new AIG and the brigade commander of a good working relationship as extended to their predecessors in office.
Oyo Speaker promises proactive measures against insecurity in Ibarapa. The Speaker of Oyo State House of Assembly, Mr. Adibo Ogundoyin, says every necessary step is being perfected to address insecurity in Ibarapa. The Speaker who said it was time for every son and daughter of the zone to come together for a synergy of plans and activities, noted that these became imperative in order to collectively free Ibarapa from the grip and shackles of criminally minded persons. Mr. Ogundoyin stated these in a statement made available to newsmen. However, disclosed that he has scheduled a security summit to hold us tomorrow in Ibarapa's central local government. According to him, the security summit will have in attendance different security chiefs, traditional rulers, religious and community leaders, representatives of various ethnic groups, youth, farmers, and others. Mr. Ogundoyin said the unfolding scenario and the recurring security challenges in the zone call for a more pragmatic and systematic approach from everyone towards peace building.
All right, herdsmen obey Akeredolu's eviction order, leave forest reserves. Following a recent directive by the governor, Oluwarotimi Akeredolu's administration, herders have started leaving Ondo State forest reserves in obedience to the order of the state government. Also, the registration of herdsmen in the state has commenced by the government. This was disclosed by the special advisor to the state governor on security, Adejumobi in Akure, the state capital. He said in his office the State Ministry of Agriculture and the Office of Amatekun Corps has commenced the registration of the herdsmen. The special advisor said the herdsmen had started leaving their forest reserves in defense to In deference to a court's order, the governors last week ordered herdsmen out of the state forest reserves within 7 days with the aim of flushing out those who were not registered among them.
Right, it's time to engage an analyst in some of the stories we've read so far. And of course, we'll be starting off with the story of the service chief as President Buhari replaces the service chief. So, Lufemi Olukmole, just like some people said, that this is long overdue. But what is your take on this? Do you still see this as a welcome development?
Yes, it's a welcome development, and it is a constitutional uh, exercise vested on the president to do. He ought to have done this long time ago. Those that have just exited the office ought to have left there some years ago. Given the fact that the constitution says that when you clock 60, you must leave government job, and that the president delayed till yesterday to do that was an infraction on a section of the constitution that he swore to uphold. So this welcome at all. It's not welcome. The country must be governed by law, and the law is the constitution, and the constitution is supreme, and it is above every individual in the country. So that infraction was not welcome at all. It was needless.
Mm.
However, you see, I don't have any. I'm not joyful over the appointment of new service chiefs, and the reason is this: the banana peel that their predecessors stepped on
Mm.
are there. You see, I said it on this program. Those that were exited yesterday, Nigerians complained that they were bereft of ideas, that they were outdated, they didn't have ideas to run the military. I sincerely disagreed then. And the reason is that if and only if they did not look at the president's body language, that if we do this, we may be offending him. If we do that, we may be offended. And aside from that, if they did not see the president as the person they owe their loyalty to, the loyalty is to the constitution of Nigeria, that they should protect Nigerians. And it is the constitution that created their office. Yes, the president may have appointed them, but the constitution created the office of chief of defense staff, chief of army staff, chief of air staff, chief of naval staff. So the loyalty is to the constitution, and when you are loyal to the constitution, you are loyal to the generality of Nigerians, the Nigerians as a whole. So for the former chief of staff to say that their loyalty was to the president was an infraction. It was wrong. It was like somebody urinating on the constitution that gave you the office. So these ones must not make the mistake. Their loyalty is to the people of Nigeria through the constitution that created their offices, and not to the president. That is not saying that they should disrespect the office of the president, or they should be disloyal to him. But the ultimate loyalty is to the constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria. So, and aside from that, let no one of them be afraid of doing their work. Let them do their work as it is dictated to them by the constitution. And let them not say that if I should do this, I'll be offending the president. That is swaying the loyalty to the president instead of the people. Now, aside from that, I am not a military person, but I know that in a human interpersonal relationship, there is no discipline that you don't have it. They should relate with their juniors, because the person who may give them idea that may make them to succeed brilliantly may be maybe a sergeant or a lance corporal. It may not even be a major. It may not be a brigadier general. So they should not disparage anybody. They should not look down on anybody, because the idea to succeed may come from any one of their juniors. So they should tap knowledge from people, and then they will succeed. So I wish them the best of luck. And what Nigerians are expecting them to do is to crush Boko Haram, crush banditry, crush kidnapping, crush, and robbery, and then we have peace. So I wish them best of luck.
Or rather, studio lines to call into 0908 111 1067 and 0808 010 1067. Olufemi Olukunle, let's look at this from the ethnicity and balancing of the ethnicity. In 2015, most of the officers that were appointed, Nigerians complained that it was from the north, and it was the president was actually tagged the president of the north. And now we are looking at the states where the service chiefs hailed from. The former chief of defense staff from Ekiti State, as opposed to the new one, Delta State. Chief of Army Staff, Borno State, as opposed to Kaduna State. We have the Chief of Navy Staff, it's from Cross Rivers, as opposed to the new one, Kano State. And Chief of Air Staff, Bauchi State, as opposed to the new one, Osun State. And we still have the Chief of Defense Intelligence. He's been there since July 2016. Now, let's look at it. Is there actually truly no balancing? If you look at it from the way it is right now, is there truly no balancing?
No, the former one was terrible. This one is fair. The structure, the current structure, the new structure is fair, because it appears every corner of the country is represented in that structure. But naturally, I am not surprised that we have Chief of Army Staff, Chief of Naval Staff. I mean, two clearly from the north. I'm not surprised, but generally speaking, I think this structure is better than the former one. So it's fairly fair.
I think we have a call now. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello,
good morning.
Good morning.
John Njoku is my name. I'm calling from Challenge. I've heard more from Mr. Femi Olukunle. Thank you for the analysis this morning.
Thank you, John.
And so the president has finally bound to public demands by replacing the former service chief, contrary to earlier view of Malam Garuba Shehu that the former service chief will not go until 2023. And so there is need. And I want to believe that a wise man changes his mind, but a foolish never. Officers who are appointed are competent and eminently qualified. But much has been expected from the new service chiefs. But my say is that the Major General raised some fundamental issues concerning their professional activities as fighting Boko Haram. This Major General was court-martialed, found guilty, and then reduced in rank. How far has the issue raised by the Rogue General been handled? And you remember that this Major General, who was the Rogue, could even afford to be the rank of those that could even be made any of the service chiefs. And so how far has the issue raised by the Rogue General been handled? If we are expecting much from this new service chief, then there is need to research on the national security architecture, and they need to go back to the joint defense document and deal immediately with the poverty in the land, which is the parent of crime. John Njoku is my name.
Thank you so much,
Thank you
Mr.
so
John.
much, John Njoku. He raised a question about the competency of this new service chiefs. I had a story before John Njoku called into the studio. One of the service chiefs, in person of the Chief of Army Staff, Tyree Ibrahim, was removed from his employment. He was actually there to fight Boko Haram, and I think he was reduced, but there was no reason given. Now let's look at the ranking from it, and him being made the Chief of Army Staff. Like what Johnny Joku said. What do you have to say about this?
No, it was not the one that was deranked. It was a Major General Adeniyi, and it was Major General Adeniyi that complained loudly that they were not given enough materials to fight Boko Haram, and Boko Haram was shelling them from left, right, and center. And he lamented that he lost his men, and for complaining loud, they court-martialed him, and they said he was guilty. And then, but the one you are talking about, the new Chief of Army Staff,
yes,
what that one did was that he was given a target of eliminating Boko Haram within 40 or 41 days by Buratai, his former boss. But he couldn't meet it. And I wouldn't know some other things he did. And then Buratai removed him. And according to the information we collected, he was removed and was not posted to another place. So that was what we heard. However, people are complaining, they are putting question mark on that somebody who was a theater commander and who could not achieve the target given to him, why should that person be the current chief of army staff? He took over from the current chief of defense staff, Irabo, as theater commander, and he couldn't meet the target given to him by former chief of army staff, Buratai. So that is what people are questioning. But however, let us see if, like I said earlier, if he does not look at any, if it doesn't look sideways and he focuses on that job and he taps ideas from his subordinates, maybe it will do well. So let's not throw him away completely.
Now that we have the new service chief, so should we expect a difference in the security sector of the nation?
Exactly, that is what we're saying. You see, that one is hinged on professionalism, and if they have actually been screened very well to ensure that yes, these people have what it takes to take the military to the next level. And next level that we are talking about is not in the negative side, but on the positive side. So these complaints that people have been raising, let's hope that it will not rub on their performances, more especially the chief of army staff, who has so much on his shoulders. So and let's help them with prayers too, because they need our prayers and cooperation. So let's see how it goes.
Well, in a related development, the coalition of the Northern Group, CNG, has called on the newly appointed service chiefs to immediately disband all armed groups and militias across the country.
That is one of those things. That is, you see, that is the needful that is expected of them, provided they don't look sideways. If they focus.
Let's take this call. I beg your pardon.
Okay.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name?
Please, I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
All right, go ahead, please.
Are you listening to me?
Yes, go ahead.
My name is Oloruntola from Nibodija here.
Can you
Please,
repeat
which
that?
type of politics? My name is Oloruntola from Nibodija here.
Okay, Dauda. Okay.
Oloruntola.
Yeah.
I want to ask you a question. Which type of politics are we playing in this country, especially in Yoruba land? Why are we turning to be burning our own property? Are we not brothers and sisters of each other? Please, I'm appealing to all these politicians not to return back to the politics of 1960. Please, because let us take our brothers and sisters. Because it's coming gradually now. What are Sunday group I'm asked to do before where to go and burn is out? Thank you. Good morning.
Thank you very much, sir.
That was a Sunday Igbo story.
Story,
His house
yes.
was burnt recently.
And of course, there is a story on that. Gani Adam once Asenis arrested, and the police trailed the hoodlums that burnt down Sunday Igbo's house. All right, so Olufemi, you are still giving your thoughts.
Yeah. So I was just saying that if those people focus on the substance, and the substance is to dismantle Boko Haram and all these bandits, the militia groups and all the rest that are giving us sleepless nights, then they will perform. You see, my worry is let them not say that we have loyalty to the president alone, just like Buratai said. And that was why he couldn't achieve optimally. I know that if those who have just left did not make that mistake, they could perform, honestly, because they were trained. But you see, it is partisanship that beclouded them, and this ones must not make the same mistake.
All right, this is a story on Sunday Igbo. Gani Adams once arsonists arrested as police trail hoodlums. The Area no Kakanfo of Yoruba land, Are Gani Adams, has asked the police to arrest arsonists responsible for the fire at one of the houses of Yoruba rights activist Sunday Adeyemo, aka Sunday Igbo. This is the Oyo State Police Command said it was trailing the hoodlums who committed the act. The one-story building located in Ibadan, the state capital, was gutted by a fire around 3 a.m. on Tuesday, damaging property that Igbo said it is worth 50 million naira. Igbo has been in the news for issuing quit notice to killer herdsmen in Oyo State. This Igbo issue is a continuous.
Yes, it will be continuous, as you said, until something needful or until something concrete is done by people that should do it. Igboho is I see him as a freedom fighter, and Igboho does not need any introduction, doesn't need any new fame. He has got his fame before, and by the grace of God, he's a man who is not hungry. But you see, he's a man who has passion for freedom, and he's a man who hates cheating. So all this while that these miscreants have been killing and maiming and raping and taking illegal monies from people, there is government. We have government at the state level, at the national level. Even they had the temerity to even kidnap the governor of a local government. That is the chairman of a local government, head of a government. They kidnapped him. You can just see how ugly the situation is. So, nature abhors vacuum. Vacuum was created, and it was the vacuum that was created that Igboho filled. And so I don't see anybody raising an eyebrow over what he has done. And I know people are seriously angry. You see the mass of people that followed Igboho. That means that people are just looking for a leader, a true leader. And when they saw a leadership in Igboho, they followed him. So that is what I just want to advise our governors I want to advise them to be very careful, because they don't need to create vacuum. If they create vacuum, it will be filled somehow. So for those who burnt that house, it goes to tell you that some people, just like people have been saying that some people have been supporting these miscreants that have been killing, that goes to tell you that it is true. It was a confirmation of what people have been saying, that some people were in support of what those miscreants, those killers have been doing. That means they support the killers from elsewhere killing their own people. And that is too terrible. Just like the last caller said, it is too terrible. But I just want to say that that one should not discourage any Nigerian who loves freedom. Freedom will surely come.
All right. There is a story still on Igboho. Some Yoruba leaders backing criminal herdsmen. This is coming from Sunday Igboho. But I will take this story after we take this commercial break.
Thank you, ultimate. 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 Rendering good service, ultimate funeral undertakers. Thank you, ultimate. Rendering good service, ultimate funeral undertakers. Thank you.
Too much of everything is bad. Excessive alcohol is dangerous. Too much food is risky to the body. The use of illicit drugs leads to distraction. Even abuse of prescribed drugs kill. Avoid untimely visit to the undertaker. Stay alive.
Ultimate funeral undertaker.
This message is from Ultimate Funeral Undertaker, Bodija Ibadan.
right, we sincerely thank you so much for staying tuned to News Real on Pensioners 106.7 FM. Yoruba activist Sunday at DMOAK Sunday Igbo on Tuesday alleged that some Yoruba leaders were supporting criminal headers to perpetrate their nefarious activities in the southwest. He also alleged that some of the leaders supported those who burnt one of his houses in Ibadan, your state, in the early hours of Tuesday. Igbo, who fielded questions from reporters in his damaged residence in Soka area, challenged those who have scores to settle with him to confront him instead of setting his house ablaze. Now, this headline or this allegations from Sunday Igbo has raised questions. Femi Olukunle.
Yes. It has been said loud and clear that some of our people in probably, I don't know, I cannot say people in corridor, but some of our people who have muscle are supporting these people. We learned that some chiefs are supporting them. We learned that some obas are supporting them, and we learned that it is alleged anyway. It's an allegation that even the Fulani herdsmen give cows to these people, and they even help them to rear the cows. So when such a thing happens, you will surely not be able to tell the truth. And that is what the Yoruba people say, they describe as ẹni tó jẹ dòdò kò ní lè sọ òdodo. So once you have eaten the forbidden fruit, you will not be able to speak the truth. You won't be able to speak to truth. So, and that is the problem. And and the unfortunate aspect of it is this: those who are doing this, they are in the minority, minute minority, who cannot stand the anger of the people. So they should be very, very careful. They should be very, very careful. Igboho is not looking for anything other than safety for people in this area, because some people created vacuum. Who are aiding and abetting this criminality should be very careful, because they will not be able to
Let's
withstand.
take this call.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Please stay away from your radio set.
Are you listening to me?
Yes.
All right, good morning.
Now, I commend the activities of Oyo State Commissioner of Police. And I commend some leaders in Oyo State. Please, I want those people who is very close to Seyi Makinde to talk to on security matter of this state. And my life matter to me. And my life of my children, my daughter, much to me. By burning Chief Igboho's house, it means the governor didn't have the interest of his people or not. He only have the interest of his family. Please, I want to, as a woman being, I want indigenous to please rise up to Seyi Makinde to talk to him on security matter. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your contribution. All right, there's just the story on the herdsmen. It says herdsmen have no alternative, must register, says Ondo. Following the agreement reached by the Nigerian Governors Forum, the Mieti Ala Cattle Breeders Association, and other stakeholders, and vacation order issued to the herdsmen to leave the forest reserves in Ondo State, the government has said the herders have been moving out of the forest. The governors and the MAC ban and the communique issued after the meeting on Monday agreed to support the Governor Rotimi Akeredolu's order on ban and night grazing, underage grazing, movement of cattle along the highway, and within the cities, and its men moving out of the forest reserves. All right, last one on Sunday, Igbo's issue. The Loreto Noche, the social media aide to the president, said that criminalizing the Fulani herdsmen is out of place.
You know what I want Loretta Onoche to do is to surrender herself, to be kidnapped. And yes, let her surrender herself or donate one of her relatives to be kidnapped. She will know what people are saying. That's just my answer to that.
All right, let's move on. We have some other stories. The Oyo Judicial Panel of Inquiry and Police Brutalities begins sitting. The Oyo State Judicial Panel of Inquiry and Police Brutality is commenced sitting. Addressing the stakeholders at the sitting, Justice Adeniji urged both petitioners and respondents not to try any acts aimed at influencing members of the panel in any form or manner. In a goodwill message, Chairman Nigeria Bar Association, Mr. Yinka Esan, said the association had talked to its members to provide free legal services to any petitioner who may not afford to engage the service of lawyers.
All right, court acquits Senator Adeleke's co-defendant in alleged exam malpractices. The Federal High Court Abuja yesterday discharged and acquitted 4 persons involved in the alleged examination malpractices. Charge filed against former People's Democratic Party (PDP's) candidate in the last governorship election in Osun, Senator Ademola Adeleke. Justice Inyang Ekwo, in a ruling, upheld the no-case submission filed by the defendants. The pleas had in 2018 arranged Adeleke along with Sikiru Adeleke, said to be the senator's relative, a school principal, Alhaji Aregbesola, Badamosi Thomas Ujo, said to be a school registrar, and Dari Samuel Olutokwe, a teacher, on a 4th count charge bordering on examination fraud. It was reported that the court in 2019 freed Adeleke from the charges after it was withdrawn by police. The police then praised the court to sever the charge, to exclude Adeleke from the trial, and arrange the remaining 4 on the 7th count charge bordering on conspiracy.
Kogi hunters arrest 10 kidnappers, rescue 19 victims. Hunters in Kogi State have arrested 10 kidnappers and rescued no fewer than 19 kidnapped victims at Skaba Junction in the Dawi local government area following a tip-off. According to Mr. Bature, the suspects were linked to the recent cases of kidnappings in the area. He explained that the combined team of local hunters got a tip-off that some travelers were kidnapped along the axis, and they engaged the criminals in a gun duel.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, good morning. Your name and where you calling from?
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
This is Dola from Okola.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. I want to respond to that statement credited to Onochi. You see, the Bible says, what you want people to do to you, do it unto others. That is the golden rule. When we are talking of ethnic profiling, I think the Northerners are more guilty. Any Northerner listening to my voice now should please advise his people. You see, they refer to Yorubas as Mekwansha Akwano. What does that mean? That Yorubas used to excrete in place with which they are eating. That is just what they say. Now,
oh, thank you so much for your contribution. All right, I think it's time to have your pattern short, Olukunle, because of our time.
Yeah, just let every Nigerian be security conscious, and let us obey the COVID-19 protocol. I wish you the best of luck.
All right, thank you so much, Olukunle, for your intelligent analysis, and thanks for being around. This is where I'll be drawing the curtains on today's edition of News Reel, reaching you from pensioners 106.7 FM. Many thanks to all our callers and to our dear listener. Thank you for being a part of the show. My name is Israel Adejumobi. Do have a wonderful day.
And I wish you a blissful and wonderful day. Please observe the COVID-19 protocols. Bye for now. My name is Favour Oloruntola.
Thank you, ultimate. Rendering good service, ultimately around undertakers. Thank you.
When our old parents pass on, it is a thing of beauty, celebrating their lives with big burial ceremonies. But what is more important is how much care we show them when they are alive. Many elderlies are lonely. They need company. They crave to hear the voices of their children. When was the last time you called your old parents? Having their grandchildren around makes them so happy. Give the elderly warmth when they are cold. Make them happy when they are alive. Then their hearts will pray for you. And when they die, you can now party big, celebrate. You earned the right because you took good care of them when they were alive. Please care for the elderly. This message is from Ultimate Funeral Undertakers, Bodija, Ibadan.
Looking for that radio station that will serve you better. Best of sports, entertainment, you go know we be master. Information, education.